I pretty much want to do just like a quick couple of videos here, which have to do with talking about what the ethical emotivism is of Charles L. Stevenson as well as A.J. Ayer. In this video, I'm going to kind of discuss the ethical emotivism of Stevenson. Stevenson has a couple of books, but one of them is called Facts and Values, and there's an article in this anthology which is by Rachel's, compiled by Rachel's, which is called The Nature of Disagreement, and he talks about what ethical disagreement is. But I guess first of all, what is ethical emotivism? Emotivism is a theory in MetaEthics which says that ethical facts or that ethical judgments are not so much about fact. They aren't about truth. They don't have truth value to them. They also aren't natural. They're kind of opposed to a naturalist. A naturalist is one who thinks that moral judgments are natural facts, and that morality is something that can be studied in the same way as chemistry or biology can, and that we can study them just in the same way, and they are facts, and that saying that it is wrong to lie has a certain truth value to it, Stevenson was a emotivist who had the belief that moral statements are not about fact. They aren't about truth, but they're expressions of feeling or emotion. That moral judgments are emotive. And what is it for a moral judgment to be emotive? That is for it to express feelings or emotions within it. They are expressions of feeling. To express that lying is wrong always, to be like the Kantian one saying that lying is wrong always, that's to express your feeling about a certain thing. And Stevenson says that the nature of moral problems lies in subjective experience. That moral dilemmas and how they are solved lies in subjective experience and how one sees them and the way and the possible solutions one thinks about or one can possibly give, and that it's not on an objective, real level that either your solution to a moral problem is right or wrong, or true or false, but it's on a very subjective level, and those engaged in those who are engaged in interpersonal moral disagreement are kind of arguing about what they've experienced subjectively. So it's kind of a matter as to whether it is right to commit a certain act, as to whether that's true or false, or as to that being right or wrong is not true or false, but it's relative to what you've experienced. To say that lying is wrong isn't true or false. It's not. It's ambivalent, basically. It doesn't have a truth or a false value to it. He does talk about moral disagreement. He has two kinds of them, which I forget exactly what the two kinds are, if I can look it up. First instance, it refers to what I should call disagreement in belief. The this occurs when Mr. A believes P, or Mr. B believes not P, or something incompatible with P, when neither is content to let the belief of the other remain unchallenged. The second sense of the word refers to what I shall call disagreement in attitude. This occurs when Mr. A has a favorable attitude to something, when Mr. B has an unfavorable or less favorable attitude to it, and when neither is content to let the other's attitude remain unchanged. So you can see how, taking disagreement in belief, how it's kind of comes down to whether you believe P or you believe not P. Neither one of you is true because of how ethics are emotive, and they kind of break down to emotions or feelings or psychology, basically. Moral psychology is what he talks about, or subjective experience of moral disagreement and uncertainty. And doing moral psychology is kind of exploring ethical disagreement, and kind of looking at it in this way, and that ethical or progress in ethical disagreement between people isn't done by proving somebody right or wrong. Normative questions are questions about what one should do or what one should think that should be done given any issue. Normative questions are the most important part of ethics, and thus, according to him, there's not one true normative answer. His MetaEthics has to do with the fact that moral facts that are not moral. There are no moral facts to be studied, and that moral judgments are emotive. And in a different video I'll be talking about Ayer. Ayer is the other emotivist, and Ayer's book Language, Truth, and Logic is where he does that. So if you have any questions, or if you think I left something out, please comment below, because I'd love to hear from you. Because whenever you comment, I get an email. If your comment is constructive, then I will always respond.